What if I told you that the most important character in the Bloodline wasn't Roman Reigns? You heard that right. No, Roman Reigns was not the most important character in the Bloodline. It wasn't Roman, it wasn't Jay, it wasn't even Jimmy. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why the key to the Bloodline success was a man who isn't even Samoan, a man who wasn't even involved in the original forming of the group, a man who, in my opinion, made the Bloodline one of the greatest stories in the history of professional wrestling. That man is the honorary Uce himself, Sami Zayn. And I know that there's a lot of controversy around this. I know that there's a lot of speculation about what made the Bloodline work. Why is it so cool? And if we're all being honest with ourselves, I think we'll all come to the same conclusion, and that is that there is no Bloodline as we know it today without Sami Zayn. And I would even go as far to say Sami Zayn was the best character in the Bloodline. Bloodline FC, let me hear it in the comments section. Be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm Big Ohm for Real Take Wrestling. Let's dive right in. As we all know, the Bloodline is arguably one of the best stories that WWE has told. Yes, there have been stories that have led to huge moments before. Yes, there have been stories that have included highly integrated characters. Yes, there have been stories that have been entertaining to all hell. But I don't think that anything that WWE has ever done touches what they achieved in 2022 going into 2023 at the peak of the Bloodline story. We have had feuds that felt real, yet we didn't have a familial bond like the Bloodline. We had had feuds that felt emotional, yet we weren't as glued to our TVs as we were with the Bloodline. The Bloodline were not only the biggest story in WWE in the past couple of years, it is the best thing that Triple H will ever book. And the fact of the matter is, if you go back and look at the Bloodline's inception, it wasn't supposed to go this way. Originally, the Bloodline was just supposed to be a vehicle for Roman Reigns. There were specific instances where there was emotional storytelling, but no one could have imagined the seeds that were planted growing and blossoming into the almighty family tree that was to be in 2022. And if you go back and look, Jey Uso obviously had his skirmish with Roman Reigns that led to Jimmy Uso's involvement. Eventually, they both acknowledged Roman as the tribal chief, and Roman went on to have a pretty mid-run with the title. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I know that people are going to kill me over this. Roman Reigns' run was definitely a feat, and Roman deserves a lot of credit for helping carry WWE through a very tumultuous time like the pandemic. But the fact remains that his actual run was plagued with some of the more ridiculous tropes of a heel champion we have ever seen. There was not a match where we didn't get Bloodline interference and shenanigans. There was not a match where we didn't get some sort of weird thing like that Finn Balor match at Extreme Rules where Finn was about to beat Roman and then suddenly the magic stopped. I don't even know how to explain what happened there. Like, Finn just kind of flopped to the ground and Roman took advantage. So basically, the title reign was not exactly all glitz and glamour, but it also had some hype about it. And that was because Roman was finally the guy that he should have been just a couple of years ago. When WWE was pushing Roman down our throats, it should have been with an interesting heel version. It shouldn't have been the white meat babyface version that we got, but the Bloodline was supposed to be a vehicle for Roman, and as such, they weren't really supposed to have personalities. It was all supposed to be around Roman. That all changed in the summer of 2022 when the integration between the Bloodline and Sami Zayn, which began as a running gag and evolved into, again, the best story that WWE's ever told. You're not going to get me to say otherwise. But Sami's integration in the Bloodline began slowly, and I can only describe it as the perfect character, the perfect time, the perfect place. Because when he came in, you saw the connection and the chemistry that this core group had that was like no other. Every week throughout the summer of 2022, you were glued to your TV because over time, you didn't just see Sami Zayn as a heel, funny character that was just there for comic relief. You saw him as a guy who was doing something that not even this version of Roman had done at that point. And that was bring out the extra charisma that was locked within Roman, that was locked within Jay, that was locked within Jimmy, and actually help people see it. Those segments where the Bloodline were in the ring and you saw them break character. You saw Roman Reigns backstage smiling at Sami Zayn. And this was the most serious version of Roman. He was not supposed to be smiling, but it gave emotional depth to these characters. And it made you feel like they were more relatable than just being random bad guys on TV. They felt important, and over time, they felt like a real family. Much like you invite Friends or Full House or whatever sitcom you watch into your home, that was the Bloodline at its peak. And Sami Zayn was the reason. He was the glue, the honorary Uce, the story of Sami slowly but surely earning the trust of the Bloodline as the Bloodline and Sami earned the trust of the fans and the viewers was perfect. It was perfect symphony, symmetry, all the E's. It was dope. And over time, we saw Sami having to grapple and come to the reality that everything that he fought for, the friendship, the family, it was all for naught. And that stage was, in my view, the peak. This is when we got Sami Zayn being forced to make a decision both at Survivor Series and then at the Royal Rumble. Survivor Series, we saw him finally turn his back on the friends he had before and align fully with the Bloodline, begrudgingly, but still doing it because he felt like that was the right thing to do, only to have at the Royal Rumble himself finally come to his senses and then take out the family that he had fought so hard to achieve. It was perfect. And that match, that moment in Montreal when we heard Sami Zayn's real theme music play and everyone believed that Sami was going to win. Everyone believed that Sami was going to defeat the monster Roman Reigns, the abusive psychopath that had trapped his family into this grip that seemed inescapable, the abusive psychopath that was going to take down Sami, the abusive psychopath that tried to manipulate Sami into thinking he was nothing more than the Bloodline's pet. He was about to achieve true redemption and win the WWE Undisputed Championship. And then he lost. And then Sami went on to defeat the Usos at WrestleMania for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Roman went on to face Cody Rhodes, and the Bloodline story fell apart. And I am not saying this to say that the Bloodline story didn't have legs to stand on post Sami Zayn. I'm not saying this to say that it couldn't have went in a more interesting direction, but it is very fair to say it was all downhill from there. And I think very quickly we found out that the Bloodline story, the key to it wasn't one character, it wasn't one moment, it wasn't one group. It was all of them. And I know that may sound hypocritical because this entire video is about one guy. It's about Sami Zayn, right? But I don't think Sami Zayn gets to the main event of a WrestleMania without helping this group, without being a part of this group. And I don't think Roman becomes as big as he is. I don't think Jay becomes a world champion. I don't think we become so tied to these characters without Sami Zayn. It was yin and yang at its peak, and at its peak, it was beautiful. It was precisely what we want out of pro wrestling. It was true awesomeness. And the fact of the matter is, if you look at where a lot of these guys are at this point on the card, the only person, in my view, who is standing on his own legs outside of Roman, who at this point is an institution, is Sami. Jey Uso is not a great professional wrestler by himself. That is just abject fact. You can go and look at any of the matches he's had. You can go look at the promos that he's cut. It's just not good. Jimmy Uso is the epitome of a tag team wrestler, in my opinion. Sami has the ability to stand up all beyond that. Is it true that he's not booked to be a world championship level guy? Absolutely. But you know that when he gets that opportunity, he's going to thrive. And it's going to be an emotional moment. Because Sami has delivered several emotional moments since then, whether it be his feud with Kevin Owens earlier in 2025, or that match and encounter with Gunther at WrestleMania 40, which may have been the WWE match of the year in 2024. Sami Zayn has that feeling, that emotional depth that was present at the peak of the Bloodline. He still has it. And he, in my view, is the only guy in that group that still has it. And for that reason, I think that it is very clear. Sami was the catalyst for everything we loved about the Bloodline. Sami was the reason why we became so enthralled with Roman. It wasn't just because Roman was an ass kicker. He's always been that. But it was because Sami brought out that emotion in Roman that we never saw again. I know a lot of people are going to be mad. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I'm just giving you my opinion, guys. And if you disagree politely, let me know in the comments section. Crash out. I don't care, actually. Crash the fuck out. Do it in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. Also, be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, become a channel member. You guys can help support dope content creation, get exclusive and first access to all future video essays right here by becoming a member. You gotta hit that join button. That's all you gotta do, and you can get yourself access to a bunch of dope content early and often. Until next time, I'm Big Ohm for Real Take Wrestling. Keep it real.